Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Martinez Dominguez, and I am one of the admissions counselors for the University of North Texas. My presentation, we're going to talk about UNT, the admissions process, financial aid, scholarships, so a little bit about everything. Typically, though, I start my presentations by talking about myself. So I am a first-gen student. Whenever I was applying for UNT, I was an undocumented student. Right now, I have DACA. And I'm also a former ISD alum. I went to Trimble Tech, graduated from there in 2013. I also went to UNT. At UNT, I did a double major, so I have two majors. One of them was integrated studies. What is integrated studies? Basically, is three focuses, and that is your major. For me, it was communications, English, and Spanish. And my other major was media arts, which it used to stand for radio, television, and film. As you can see here, I was super involved in college. That's definitely one of my biggest advice, no matter where you decide to go. Get involved with organizations that are available at your school. For example, here I was involved in a Latina sorority called Kappa Chi Sorority Incorporated. I was part of G-Force, which was a mentorship group where we went to go and help out high school students with the whole college process. I was also in Green Jackets, which is a service-based organization. So let's talk about UNT. Why UNT? So UNT is located in Denton. If you don't know where Denton is located, it's about 35 to 45 minutes up north from Fort Worth, depending on traffic. We are a minority serving institution as well as a national Hispanic institution. What does NHI mean, or National Hispanic Institution? It basically means that 25% of our student body is Hispanic. We also have around 40,000 students on campus. So UNT, it is a big school. Personally, though, it never felt that big to me just because I was involved in a lot of organizations. With the organizations, I was able to meet a lot of new people and network and, get to be more comfortable at UNT. UNT is also a Tier 1 research school, and when it comes to fine arts, we have more than 1,000 concerts, art exhibits, dance, and theater productions annually. This past year, we were able to retain 82% of our freshmen and 85% of our transfer students, and we awarded over 10,000 degrees. So let's talk about majors. So UNT offers more than 100 majors. Some of the majors that are nationally recognized at UNT is going to be aviation logistics, consumer experience management, emergency administration and planning, jazz studies, and communications design. So we have a lot of majors that you can definitely look into. I'm going to drop a link in the little chat where you can kind of check them out and see what we have available. Some popular majors that always get asked for that UNT does not offer is going to be, for example, nursing. Unfortunately, UNT does not offer a nursing program. We also don't offer architecture. I think that's like the next popular major I always get asked for. So if you're looking into like those two degrees, UNT is not the best school for you just because we don't have those programs. We also do have a satellite campus in Frisco. So our majors in Frisco, they're a little bit more hands-on. So if you're that kind of person who prefers like that hands-on experience, you prefer projects over tasks, I definitely suggest for you to search our majors at Frisco. A lot of them are going to be more like on the business side and more on the formation side as well. Frisco also has a lot of partnerships in the area. For example, Dallas Cowboys, Toyota, Collin County, and City of Frisco. So when it comes to campus life, we have over 400 organizations that you can join. Like I said before, that's definitely my biggest advice, get involved. I always tell students to get involved in at least 3 organizations, either a professional organization, an organization based on your major, and a fun organization. The reason why I suggest just 3 is because college is not the same thing as in high school, just because I know in high school, I'm sure a lot of you are like super involved in a lot of organizations and probably even work. College is not going to be that easy. It's going to require a lot of more of your time to study and focus in class. So that's why I just suggest 3 organizations. We also have big university sponsor events. For example, for the fall, the biggest event that we have is homecoming, which basically every single day there's something going on. It ends with our bonfire, our homecoming parade, our tailgate, and our football game. And as incoming freshmen, you are required to stay on campus. There are different kinds of residence halls that you can stay at. Definitely one of the things I recommend for you to do right now is to take advantage of all of these virtual tours that are happening, just because that way you can get to see a little bit more about campus life, but also look at the residence halls or the dorms, just because, like I said, there's just different types of residence halls. For example, there's like a residence hall where you're in a room with your roommate, restroom in the middle, and then your suite mates that you share that restroom with. There are private rooms as well, but those are going to be a little bit more expensive. And typically you're still going to be sharing the restroom with your neighbor. But there's also community bathroom styles residence halls. So basically means that you're in a room with your roommate. The bathroom is going to be located outside of your room, typically like down the hallway or something like that. And you're going to be sharing that restroom with pretty much everyone in that hallway, obviously the same gender. So if you're not that kind of person who does not like sharing a restroom with multiple people, I would recommend for you to avoid those residence halls. And since you're staying on campus, you are also required to get a meal plan. UNT has 5 dining halls with a 6th one coming in soon. And one of our cafeterias is fully vegan. And we are a Division I athletic university. Another big advice I always give my students is that the university has a lot of resources available for you. College is not the same thing as in high school, in the sense that in high school, you always have someone asking you how you're doing, if you need any kind of help. College is not going to be that way. You actually have to go out there and ask for help if you ever need it. And like I said, there's just a lot of resources available for you. You just need to ask for that help. For example, for academics, we have the Learning Center, which is like tutoring sessions. We have the math labs. You're struggling in math, you can go there and they can help you out with your homework, studying for an exam, anything like that. If you have an essay that you need to write, you need someone to revise it, or you're kind of stuck, you can go to the Writing Center. For well-being and safety, we have the Student Health and Wellness Center, which is kind of like a clinic on campus that you can go if you're ever sick or you injure yourself. We also have counseling services. So if you need therapy just because you're missing home or something happened, you can go to the counseling services and they can assist you. We also have the food pantry as well. And then we have the Multicultural Center, which is a great resource just for you. Even if you're if you consider yourself a minority or you're a first-gen student, just because they always have something going on in their offices. And their offices is kind of like a little lounge area where you can kind of chill with your friends. There's always people there, and they have kind of like a small computer lab where you can just, do your homework. They also have mentorship organizations that you can get involved in. Same thing with the Pride Alliance. We have our career center, which helps you find jobs on campus and off campus, as well as look for internships. And if you need someone to revise your essay, look at your letters of recommendation, anything like that, you can go to the career center and they'll be able to assist you. So like I said, there's just a lot of resources. I didn't go through all of them, but you can kind of see them on the screen. So I just recommend for you to not be afraid to ask for help. Now, let's talk about the most important details. How do you get into UNT? So for the freshman admissions requirements right now for fall 2021, so if you're a senior right now applying for the fall, UNT is test optional. Basically what it means is that we don't require the SAT or the ACT. All you have to do is first apply. You can apply through Apply Texas or the Common Application. The sooner you apply, the better, just because, senior years is already stressful as it is. And, with the current situation that we're in right now, it's even more stressful. So you just want to get that out of the way. Once you have submitted your application, you'll submit your official high school transcript. And like I said, SAT or ACT are optional, but encouraged. And then once you have turned in your application and your official high school transcript, you're going to receive access to your student portal. And you need to check that student portal at least once a week, just because if we're missing anything, if we're requiring more documents, not only from admissions, but also from financial aid, that's how you're going to be notified. So you want to make sure that you don't have any holds on your admissions application or on financial aid, just because if you do have any holds, it basically means that you're not going to get a decision for admissions or your financial aid until that gets taken care of. So if you're a junior, these are going to be the admissions requirements. So as you can see, We're looking at your class rank. Depending where you are class rank, there's going to be a specific SAT or the ACT test score. If you're in the top 20%, you can definitely take advantage of our Eagle Advantage program, which most 4YSD schools are a part of. So it just basically means that if you're top 20%, you're automatically accepted as long as you turn everything in. But for seniors, since we're not asking for test scores, basically what we're going to be looking is going to be your unweighted high school GPA. So if you have above a 3.0, you should be good. But if you have below a 3.0, I recommend for you to send us 2 letters of recommendations and a personal statement in order for us to make a decision. Now, another popular question I always get from a lot of students is, how much is tuition and fees? I tell students that's not really the best question to ask me. A better question to ask me is, what is the cost of attendance? Just because cost of attendance is including everything. It's including your tuition, your housing, your meal plan, your room and board, like everything that you're going to be paying at the university. So what UNT tried to do is they tried to see how much was a full-time student who is living on campus for one entire year, how much were they spending? And the number they came up with was roughly $26,000. That had honestly been the most I've seen someone pay, because like I said, there's just different factors. For example, some majors are more expensive than others. Some residence halls are a little bit more expensive than others as well. There's different kinds of meal plans. So there's a range I see people pay. The cheapest I have seen someone, or the least I've seen someone paid, has been around like $22,000 to $23,000, and like the most has been like $26,000. And then keep in mind, you most likely won't be paying this out of pocket just because you're going to be applying for financial aid. Here in Texas, there's 2 applications that you can submit, depending on which one you're eligible for. So if you're an American citizen or a permanent resident and some visa holders, you can apply for FAFSA. If you're a undocumented student, classified as a Texas resident, you can apply for TASFA. And these 2 applications, they work the same way. You're basically telling the government, this is how much money my parents make, so how much money are you going to give me so I can go to school? And every single school that you apply for is going to give you different kinds of financial aid, which is why it's super, super important to be applying for multiple schools, not only one school, because you want to be in that situation where you have all your financial aid letters and you can choose based on who gave you the most money. A good example I always like to bring up is my senior year. I was between 2 schools. One of them was UNT. The other one was a private university in Fort Worth. Whenever I got my financial aid letters, I noticed that the private university gave me more financial aid than UNT. But whenever I was looking at the cost of attendance, I realized the private university only gave me enough for tuition and fees, while UNT was basically a full ride. And that was honestly one of the biggest factors why I decided to go to UNT and not the other university, just because I wanted to have the full college experience in a sense that I wanted to move out from home and, you know, live in a residence hall and have all that. So apply to multiple schools, not only one. And then also keep in mind, financial aid and scholarships are 2 different things. Financial aid is going to be based on family need. Scholarships, there are some that are based on family need, but it's also based on academics, extracurricular, leadership, all that kind of stuff. For incoming freshmen, the biggest academic scholarship is going to be the UNT Excellence, and that one ranges from $1,000 to $10,000, and it is renewable. Emerald Eagles is a program that we have for our students who are low income. So if your family makes less than $40,000, this is a program you can be eligible for. The Multicultural Scholastic Award is a scholarship for first-gen students who volunteer. And then our full ride is going to be the Terry Scholars Program. For that one, they are looking for a well-rounded student. So you have to have the extracurricular, you have to have the service, the leadership, the GPA. You have to be that well-rounded student. For that one, it's an application process first, and then you'll go through an interview. And if you get selected, like I said, it's a full ride. They pay for your housing, your meal plan, your books, your tuition and fees. I have a really, really good friend of mine who was a Terry scholar, and with this program, she was even able to go study abroad in Spain. And these are just some of the scholarships that UNT offers. We have a lot more. I do want to add, don't just concentrate on applying for university scholarships. You should also be applying for scholarships in your community. And for as a footwear ISD school, there's a bunch of them that you can apply for, especially like local scholarships. I recommend for you to start looking at them right now, especially if you're a senior. Most of them are going to be due around the springtime. So you want to start looking for that information. That way you're ready to apply for those scholarships. Now, I do want to highlight, like I said before, there's just a bunch of virtual events happening right now. For example, for at UNT, we have Fall Preview, which is basically our open house. And the way that we're doing it is that for each state, we're highlighting a college. So depending on which college you belong to or you want to find out more information, you go on that particular date. So if you want to get more information about your major, you'll go to like that specific date. But there's also other sessions that you can attend, for example, for financial aid, for the Prayer Alliance, for study abroad. So there's just different things that you'll be able to learn more about. All you have to do is RSVP online. And we also do have campus tours. We have them virtual. We actually have them in person as well. The in-person tours are limited, and you do have to schedule them in advance. Now, there's a lot of ways for you to connect with us. You can make a one-on-one appointment on the appointments.unt.edu website. There's also a live chat that you can use. Right below, you'll find my email address. So if you have any questions, any concerns, if you want to find out the status of your application, you're more than welcome to email me. This is our phone number as well. And if you need to send anything via mail, this is our address. Well, thank you for joining me today. That basically concludes my presentation. So like I said, do not hesitate to reach out if you need any kind of help. My email is literally my first name, melissa.martinez@unt.edu.